So, welcome to Beauty of Colors podcast, Tina. It's great to have you on the show.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
So, Tina, tell us a little bit about you and what drove you into the healthcare arena and starting up your own business.
Let's to start in healthcare. I've always had an interest in science when I was a kid. My fondest memory of Christmas is when I got my first microscope. So I was that kind of kid. I was a big nerd. So my parents always encouraged me to get into what I enjoyed. And so science was one of those things. So I had a chemistry set, I had a microscope, I took computer classes. Back in the days when we programmed in DOS. So that's a while ago. Most people won't know what that is anymore. Um, and so that's how I got into the medical field. I had some great family members that were doctors and nurses in the family, and I kind of saw what they did. And my hero on TV was Dr. Quincy. So I
Oh.
wanted to be Dr. Quincy one day.
So, that's what prompted you in starting your own business as well?
Well, how I got into business, which is kind of funny because I like to say that I'm an accidental on purpose entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I actually started as a nursing student 25 so years ago, actually more than 25 now. Ugh, scary. But anyway, I started out teaching CPR classes on the side just to make extra money and never thought about it being a legit business. I always thought of it as a side hustle,
Mhm.
even though I had corporate contracts. I had agencies that would contact me to come and train all their staff and things like that. It never occurred to me to grow that into a business.
Mhm.
So fast forward to 2008 when the recession hit, and I found myself in between jobs. I left an employer um, due to circumstances, and I was living on my severance, right? So I'm sitting there thinking about what my next move will be. And I said, well, maybe I'll just write a book while I got this time off, blah, blah, blah. A friend was starting up a business, training CNAs, and she asked me to come on board. I'm going to be a business partner. And that's how I got into entrepreneurship. And that's when I really understood the power of being your own boss.
So, Tina, tell us a little bit about your business and what are three problems that most attorneys have when trying to secure an expert medical witness, and where does your company fit into solving the problem?
Okay, great. Well, Baxter Professional Services was actually started in 2015. And it was through my very first case. I got a letter in the mail that came to my practice. I still practice clinically, and at my practice at that time, a letter came from an attorney's office, which of course sent everyone into a tizzy, right? That must be bad news. And what it was is that the attorney asked me to sit on a medical review panel because I had expertise in gerontology, and it was a nursing home case. So I said, Okay, sure, why not? I've always kind of been interested in legal fields. I said, why not? I'll do it. So I agreed to do it. I said on the caveat, please don't send any mail to my office anymore. Send it to my private mailbox, which I always had one for years. And so he says, oh, by the way, when we get to the part of taking your deposition, which I really didn't know exactly what that was, he said, I'll need your fee schedule. And I said, okay, no problem. Had no idea, no clue about a fee schedule or anything like that. So I did some quick research, took a course really fast, learned about what I was supposed to do because I wanted to do a good job. I said, at least I kind of had to know what I was supposed to do. And it was there that I got that bug for starting my second company, the Baxter Professional Services. How best for an attorney to find experts? I say the top three ways are word of mouth, referrals, talk to your colleagues, find out who they use, and then maybe they can refer someone to you. Second, if you have an in-house LNC, that person oftentimes belongs to organizations like the American Association of Legal Nurse Consulting or JERC or something like that. They'll join those organizations and know how to get experts for you. And then lastly, check out LinkedIn. I found some attorneys on LinkedIn and just struck up a conversation with them and developed a rapport. And so um, keep in touch with them. And so those are three ways to do that. And don't forget to have your in-house LNC kind of talk to the person, let them know what they're looking for, get a feel for what their expertise would be. Um, and so that's how I would say, if you're an attorney and you're looking for a legal nurse consultant, those are the best ways to get a hold of one. And then, of course, you can always go through search agencies as well.
So, Tina, you said that you have two businesses. What are
Yes.
some of the services you offer for both businesses, and how can the listeners get in touch with you?
Okay, so my first business, Baxter Professional Services, is sort of our parent business. That's for legal nurse consulting. You can always reach me at baxterprofessionalservices.com. That's a great way for attorneys to get a hold of us. Now, you'll also, if you just put in Baxter Professional Services, you may get Baxter Professional Services Health Education. That is our other part of our business, where we provide education to nurses, physicians, anyone out there on that needs help, like CPR, first aid, TB training, that type of thing. I also do in-services and training for home care agencies, assisted livings, and nursing homes as well. So I provide education for their staff. And then we have our CNA training program through that part of the business as well. And then the last part of the business is the Nurse Shark Academy, which is the coaching program for nurses that are interested in entrepreneurship. So if you're thinking about starting a business and you don't know where to start, this is a great time to have a conversation with us. And you can check us out at the nursesharkacademy.biz. You can reach us there. The great thing is, if you want to reach us on any of those businesses, you can also just call us at 765-387-8046. That's 765-387-8046. And you can reach me for any of those businesses if you would like some services.
So Tina, are you only based in Indiana, or are you also virtual as well?
What's great is I am virtual, and I can work pretty much anywhere. So one day I happened to be flying out to a conference, and I got a case out of Michigan. And so I'm flying to Las Vegas, working on a case in Michigan. It was a fast turnaround. It was one of those rush cases, right? And so that's what happened. I happened to be going away for a conference. So when the conference was over that day, I'd go up to my room and work on the case to get it ready for that attorney, because it was a quick turnaround. If you're a nurse working anywhere in the world, I can help you out, because what I help you out with is getting your mindset ready to start a business, but also just the pieces of getting started. I help you with systems and processes. And so you already have the basics, right? You know nursing, you know how to work the nursing process. How do you apply that then to your business? And this is what a lot of nurses struggle with, is that confidence piece of, can I write the business plan? Can I make a go of it? What do I need to have in place? Can I get these regulations handled? All those things. So I help you with that part.
Wow. So, Tina, do you have any last words for the listeners? Somebody who's out there who's listening and they want to start their own business, but they have no idea where to start. They're like, okay, how am I going to do this? What is some of advice that you can give to that person in order to give them that push to start their business?
I would say start with what's in your hand. And what I mean by that, start with the skill set that you have. So I started out teaching CPR. I learned how to do that as a student, and I kept at it. And I would just do it. And, it was just one of those things. Again, it started out as a side hustle. If you're good at baking and you want to bake pies, can you come up with recipes for healthy, low sugar pies that taste really good for people who are diabetic? There's a niche for that. So start with what you have, those skills that you have, and build from there. And don't be afraid to try something and maybe find out you don't like it. I started several facets to my business. And then I realized I don't want to do that. I don't like that, but I gave it a try. So it's okay to say that's not for me. And it's okay to turn and go in a different direction. I never thought I was going to restart a CNA training school, but I'm so glad that I did, because now I have a contract pending with a large school system. So you just never know what you have in front of you. So I say just start with what you have. I took radio broadcasting in high school and college. Never thought that I would become a podcaster and start the Nurse Shark Academy show, but I did. And I used those skills that I learned in high school and college to now help run my show. So these are things that you can do. Start with what you got and go from there.
Wow, Tina, nicely said. So, Tina, thank you for being on Beauty of Colors podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.